And what's up? Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy beginning of the week to you guys. I'm glad you guys are with me. So, if you are thrown off because the normal person that's here ain't here, he is on a trip. Safe travels to you, my brother, as he's on the road. All right. So if you're in here, oh, I don't like that. I don't like the echo. Hey, you guys, what's going on? So, do me a favor, right from the jump, if you guys can go ahead and share the broadcast out, that would be great. So today I'm going to not try to jack this up for AD. AD is on the road, traveling right now. So safe travels. Hey Lisa, what's up? Good morning. So it's your boy, it's me. You know. Uh, so real quick, let me get into the intro. Hold tight. I can find it. Here it is.
I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning. What's up, everybody?
All right, and welcome back. So I am your boy Terry. I am the Mother McCoy. What's going on? I am the one of the members of the Brothers of Legacy. If you guys don't know who I am, I know I'm not off. I'm not on very often because I'm on Mondays and Thursdays because of my work schedule has changed. So with the move to across the country here, so a lot of things going on. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Black History Month. And speaking of Black History Month, what I try to do when I'm on here is I try to give a little bit of Black history uh, facts or whatever. So before we get into our topic, while waiting for my guys to come in, let me do this real fast. Today's Black History Moment is brought to you by this young lady right here. Hey, Cheryl, what's going on? Good morning to you. Before I get into all that, anybody know who this is? If you know who this is right here, go ahead and give me or put that in the comment section. If you know who this young lady is right here, put it in the comment section. I'm just curious. It's a kind of I'm going to test your wits today. And while you're guessing in the comments, I'm going to share it because I haven't got a chance to share it yet. So hold tight for me. Any guesses? What's up, Mark? Good morning to you, sir. Glad you're here. Make sure you share the broadcast out. Please, please, please. We are live on YouTube and Periscope and, of course, Facebook. So, yeah. No guesses yet? I guess I'll wait. I'll wait a few more minutes. Let's see if I can. And don't be Googling it neither. Don't you be Googling that. I know y'all, somebody's out there Googling that. Oh, I love you guys. All right. Somebody give me a guess. All right. Oh, man. I'm telling you, we need to get to. All right. All right. All right, time's up. If you ain't got it by now, you're gonna get it. All right. So this young lady right here beside me, or beside my picture here, is Miss Gladys West. Okay. Miss Gladys West is a mathematician, one of the smartest women alive. She is a mathematician, and she is the architect or one of the architects to GPS. Hey, Willette, what's going on with you? She is she's one of the architects of the GPS technology. So she is the reason why you can tag a photo and you can get directions to your phone. She is the reason why. Black excellence right here, Black girl magic, all that stuff that we listen that we're in. But Miss Gladys West is the reason why you can tag your phone. You can tag your photos on Instagram and do a follow. A share. Yeah, man, it's crazy, right? She is still alive. She's still running these streets. She's still doing her thing. She was born in 1930 in Dinwiddie, Virginia, Dinwiddie County, Virginia. All right. She is just an amazing woman. She's one of those hidden figures. You know that movie Hidden Figures about the ladies from NASA and all that. She's another one of the hidden figures that did something behind the scenes that nobody would probably never. Well, she gets some acknowledgement, but you know how it is. All right, so we're going to talk about Black History Month this morning because when AD put up the post, what's up, Dwayne? AD put up the post this morning or last night when he told me he was not going to be on, and when we come on, I said, me and content creation, brother, you got to shoot me a topic here. So he shot me a topic. We're talking about Black history, and does it still matter? Does it still have the meaning? Right? I mean, because he put it in the comments here. I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm bad with this. I haven't done this show in so long. So can we? No, it's not. That's not the one. I'm on the wrong one. I'm not sure what's that about. Okay, Black history, and does it still have the same meaning as it did? And when I read that topic, and I thought to myself, I remember when I was little, and Black history was a big deal. We used to have speeches. You have to pick out. You have to pick a figure in Black History Month, and then do a speech about it. Or read a book or do a speech. I don't know about you, Dwayne. That ever happened to you?
Oh, look, from South Carolina, you already know how it
is. And everybody wanted to pick Martin Luther King. But everybody couldn't do him. Only one person could do him. So we had to flip a coin. We actually, I remember one year
y'all gonna make me laugh at y'all, Terry.
What grade was I? I'm trying to figure out what grade I was in. I was in the 6th grade. I never forget this. Everybody wanted to be a part of. Everybody wanted to be MLK, right? And so what my teacher put everybody's name in a hat in the class, and then she called the principal down. The principal came down and pulled a name from the hat, and whoever named it he pulled was MLK. What's up, AD?
So you mean to tell me that y'all were fighting over one person?
Yeah, we ain't know no better, man. We were
y'all teachers needed to be flogged because
true. It needed to be fight. Yeah, it needed to be fight.
But that's why I think it still matters, though. To answer your question, that's why I think it still matters.
I think that it definitely should matter, especially in this day and time. In this era of our society, I think that it's definitely needed because there's so much stuff. Like I was talking to my kids the other day. I mean, I know they're 10 and 9, but there is so much history they don't know. Like they don't, they know MLK because he was the face of the civil rights,
right?
And they know a little bit about Malcolm. Yeah, Shag and Tear.
And they know Rosa Parks.
They know Rosa because she was.
But do you know Rosa wasn't the first Black woman not to give up her seat?
Nope. I mean, they don't know that.
And this is why it's still important because
it's still important.
It's still if you don't tell the story right and if you don't empower people with that knowledge, then it's basically no good. It's like you come into my shop, right? And I'm a mechanic, and because you don't know, I tell you that you have you got engine issues. Your check engine light came on, but all you need is a O2 sensor or catalytic converter, and we can switch it out. Right. And I switch it out, and it works right for a little bit. But that really ain't the problem because you still don't know the whole diagnosis. Right. And that becomes a problem. There's a lady by the name of, I think her name was Claudine or Claudette, Miss Colvin. Her last name was Colvin.
Right.
But before there was ever a Rosa Parks, she went to jail for not giving up her seat. And this is the history that what made Rosa different was the fact that she was a secretary for the NAACP. So because of who she was, she became that person that the world knew. But that was the difference. But there was that. I think it was like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 women prior to Rosa. Rosa not taking anything away from her,
right.
but Rosa was the person who was the straw that broke the camel back. What's going on, Mama Corey? How you doing?
Hey, Mama, she up in there. She's so sweet. I love her. I haven't met her yet, but she's great. Love you, Mama.
I bet she got some stories.
I bet. I would love to hear. I would love to hear 5 of them. I bet you. I bet you. Oh, sorry. I'm dropping my phone everywhere. I mean, I think it's important because, like with me, I have Zariah, and AD has Lexi, and you have your babies. These young women, these young babies need to know that they truly do have Black girl magic. It's not just something that we say. It's not just a hashtag. That is real out here. Now, I just showed at the top of the show the Miss Gladys West, and Miss Gladys West was a mathematician who was an integral part of GPS technology. You're able to tag your photos on Instagram because of this woman. She was one of them.
Get from A to B.
Get to A to B.
Because a lot of y'all don't know how to read maps. y'all be out in the cold. You got to pull the atlas out.
Yeah. All right, I didn't get the tags code. And so, I mean, one of the most famous women that these kids know about is Madam C.J. Walker, right? Everybody knows C.J. But there were so many other women who were infamous. I mean, not infamous, but famous.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's great. So it's this day and time, man. The young ladies really need to understand the depth of their Black girl magic, and that they really have it, and the young men too. I mean, because Martin wasn't the only one in the movement, so they need to know. I mean, you look at Martin. I mean, Malcolm. You look at they got a new movie coming out. I have to go see. Is it Black Judah? Is it Black Judah?
You're talking about the remake of Black Panther?
No, I'm thinking about the Black Panther Party.
Yes, it's a remake of the movie. You remember the Mario Van Peebles movie?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see the Mario Van Peebles movie?
What's up, Cole? What's going on, man?
Oh, you got to go back and check that out. What up, Cole? You got to go back and check it out because my brother-in-law, he's a youngin, and he's from he lives in LA, and he showed it to me, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I was like, yeah, this is a pretty from the trailer. It looked like a pretty good remake of the Mario Van Peebles, the Black Panther movie in the 95, which is a great movie, by the way.
That's it. Just. My door's not open. Oh, now it is.
Somebody finna walk up in there, huh?
I don't know what happened, but she's getting TJ ready. But yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm definitely interested in seeing that because I hate to be the one to say that, and this is a truly transparent moment for me. I am not versed in the Black Panther part. Now I know some stories. I know like Huey Newton. I know him, but I don't know a lot of the history, if I can be honest, and before Cole jumped down my throat about it, I'm not very versed in it. So I'm definitely interested in seeing this.
Well, since you brought it up, you asked the question. Well, the show is about this Black history. Is it still needed? Mm-hmm. You said you don't know a lot about them, but let me give you some tidbits of stuff that might piss you off just a little bit. You know who J. Edgar Hoover is, right?
Well, of course I do. I know that dude.
Former president, former head of the CIA. I mean the FBI.
Yeah,
that same J. Edgar Hoover.
You wouldn't know what president was?
Yeah,
he was president. J. Edgar.
Hold on. Now you got me questioning. Look. Well,
J. Edgar was over the FBI.
Okay, the former head of the FBI.
Yeah.
The reason we have the drug problems that we do in our inner cities today is thanks to Mr. J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah.
And the reason why they unleash large amounts of illicit drugs into the urban communities was to decentralize the Black Panther Party. Like declassified documents prove it. And now cities like Oakland, Baltimore, New York, Houston, Atlanta, any city where there's a drug problem, black or white, it can be attributed to him.
You know, speaking of J. Edgar, and the fact that I know more about J. Edgar than probably the Black Panther, I'm wrong for that. I mean, and that's my fault that I haven't. But J. Edgar was. I mean, wouldn't he like undercover?
Undercover.
He was undercover.
Not undercover. That's a bad. Maybe puppet master might be a better word, but undercover.
Because let me tell you, Leonardo DiCaprio played that part in that movie. It was just the way when he was part of the FBI, when he became head of the FBI. I mean, he was tapping phone lines and things, right? He was tapping MLK's phone. So a lot, and I agree with you. A lot of the stuff that happened back then is a true testament to what he did, and some of those practices are still going on today. You know, and he's been gone I don't know how long. But what he undercover cross-dresser? Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean.
He said undercover cross. You mean like undercover like that? Like
right? He was
on
also
the down low.
He was also gay. Yeah.
Okay, say down. You said undercover. I thought undercover cop.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, down low. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Okay, I got you now. You said undercover. I'm like,
down low. Yeah.
The down low. Okay, yeah. Got you.
He's a DL brother. Yeah. DL white guy. He ain't no brother. But a lot of the stuff in history, it's just like we was talking with V yesterday, and she was going in one of her chapters of her book. She went into this full tirade, which is a great book, by the way. She should go get that. Still Here by V Bennett. You guys should pick that up. And she was talking about Black history, and I remember watching. I actually sat down one day and I Googled some pictures, and I Googled, just like racism, and just to sit here and do racism. And the pictures that I saw was just maddening. Does anybody remember the movie Mississippi Burning?
Oh, yeah. I remember the opening scene. Black people getting pulled over by white cops.
Are you saying? And I was like, I guess I had to watch that to remind myself. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if I can, when I lived in Idaho, that thing was in the forefront. Those pictures I used to look at, like I'm the only, brother out here for miles around. You know what I mean? Like, if anything happened to me, but I just felt like I didn't know a lot about my history as far as racism goes. So I had to go and sit and read some stuff and watch some stuff and be like, okay, now I'm back to full strength. I'm fully aware now of what's happening. And so, but every year, Black History, the kids have to do something. Like Zariah, last Black History Month, she didn't do anything. She hasn't done anything so far because she's in a new school. But last year, she went to school. She slicked her hair back, painted on a mustache, put on a suit, and went to school as MLK, which was pretty dope. That's why I think Black history is important. It still means something.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I believe Black history is still important.
Right.
And here's one that might blow your mind.
Okay.
So how often do we get upset? Do you get upset, or what are your feelings when you see Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra?
It pisses me off. Anytime, yeah, that pisses me off.
But why?
Why? Because
why does it piss you off?
Because Cleopatra won't white.
So that piss you off?
Well, yeah, I mean, it upsets me just like watching.
But it's history. Shouldn't you be over it by now? Shouldn't you be okay with it?
No, absolutely not. We're not going to continue that lie, and that's probably what I see where you're going.
Yeah. So let me make it a little more current for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Harriet Tubman that they I don't know if it did it come out yet?
Yeah. It's been out.
Okay. That movie. Right. Do you know that the first, I don't have a specific name, but do you know that they tried to cast a white woman to play Harriet Tubman?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Like how are you gonna whitewash that? Like how are you gonna watch?
So is Black history important?
Right. Hey,
what up, V?
How you
the fact that you look, they've gotten over you look at old Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie on, I can't remember what network it was on. It was a few years back. President Obama was in office at the time, and they made the movie about the Bible. I don't know if it was a History Channel or somebody, but it was a modern
the Bible.
It was called The Bible. And remember, they had Satan looking like Barack Obama. I don't know if you remember that scene, but they had Satan looking like okay. Now, what I want you to remember about that was they showed some Black Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Samson was one of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But do you remember that they showed Samson as his mom being a single parent? You don't remember that part, do you? Yeah, they showed Samson's mother being a single parent. Well, the Bible clearly doesn't say that. Clearly doesn't show that. But the point I want to make is they made Samson Black.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. Right. I'm like, okay. They're admitting there was some dark Jews. But here's the reality of it, Terry. These people came from a non-African Black society. Abraham lived in what history calls Mesopotamia. Mm-hmm. Historically, look up Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia was the only Black, not people of color, but the only black civilization outside of Africa, even though it neighbored Africa, right?
Right.
So if Abraham came from a Black civilization, what color do you think Isaac was? Mm. What color do you think Jacob was? And then let's just take it another step further, because this is part of Black history, not African American history, but Black history.
Black history, right?
Right. So, Joseph, the son of Jacob, right? Mm-hmm. He was sold into slavery by his brothers to Egypt. Now, historically speaking, this is the Egypt that was Black, pre-Arab, pre-Persian influence. Yeah. Black Egypt. These are the ones where the Sphinx nose looked like a brother for real. For real.
Look like Snoop Dogg.
Okay. Right. So the fact of the matter is that after Joseph went there, and remember, there was a time of prosperity for the Hebrew people in Egypt. Mm-hmm. So you take in those 150, 200 years that Joseph and his descendants were okay in Egypt. And then you take up to that point where there came a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. And they spent another 400 years in Black Africa.
Black Africa.
So you're talking about a Black civilization that went to Black Africa, and they're supposed to be what now?
White.
Let me fast forward a long way. Let's fast forward it about 3,000 years to Jesus, right? When King Herod started killing off the firstborns, trying to kill this so-called Messiah, what did Mary and Joseph do? They hid Jesus. Where did they hide him? In Egypt. Now, if Egypt looked like Elizabeth Taylor, tell me how Jesus wouldn't stand out. Or tell me, better yet, why would you hide somebody somewhere and they don't look like? Why do you think Dave Chappelle said why he went to South Africa after he had his issues in America? And he said, because, what up, Pastor? He said, because everybody there looked like me. He was like, you couldn't find me because everybody looked like me. You already think we all look alike. That's what he said, right? So is Black history important? You're absolutely right, because it plays a part into the image of who we are and how we see ourselves. Now, I'm not saying any of this speaks to the spiritual significance of who Jesus is and the work of Jesus, because it doesn't on that side. But let's be clear. God is very intentional. God created me with genes where my hair was going to fall out for a reason. My beard grayed for a reason. He put me in the family he put me in South Carolina for a reason. So I think it's extremely intentional. So yes, it's absolutely important.
Oh, before I get into these comments, let me say what's up to Pastor B in the building. You're here, sir.
Sorry, late,
it's all right. I know you work duty calls, man.
Duty calls, man. Duty
calls. I'm telling you. All right, so getting to this, some of these comments. V said that I told my sister that it would be great to see the 10 Commandments with all Black people. That would be great. It would be great to see.
Yeah, because and the other thing about that, Moses' wife Zipporah, she wasn't even from Egypt.
Yeah.
She was from deep in not the jungle, but she I guess modern day Ethiopia. Yeah. But
so y'all can't handle the CBD version, the CBD DeMille.
No, I can't do
it. CBD DeMille's version of the 10 Commandments. They wasn't dark enough.
No, I tell you who got it right the best. Was it Disney that did Prince of Egypt?
Yeah.
And they didn't. I mean, at least they gave them color.
Yeah, they had to. They don't have any white crayons. They were.
Sorry. But the whole preference of what I said, Pastor, was the reason why we still need Black history. Is the fact that I asked Terry how he felt about Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra, and he went into it, and then I was like, okay, let's fast forward to today. You know, when they created the movie Harriet Tubman, the new movie, that they tried to cast a white woman to be Harriet Tubman initially, right?
Don't laugh at me, wrong. Don't do that. Oh yeah.
It's interesting. You say, is Black history relevant? Do we need Black history? Good morning, everybody out there.
Hey, Nikki, what's up?
As opposed to not having Black history, I guess my question is, what do you mean when you say, do we still need it, or is Black history
relevant? There relevance for it? Is there a need for it?
Is there a need for it? Yeah,
for the month.
So is Black History Month relevant?
Yeah, month. Yeah.
No. The reality is there's just history. The problem is they have covered and concealed the accomplishments of Black people.
Yes, they have.
The reality is there should only be history.
Yeah. Facts.
The reason Black history is critical is because they act like we haven't done anything.
Right. And half the crap.
And to think that you can condense that into a single month is ridiculous, because America's history would fade away without Black people.
Exactly. But I want to know who gave us the shortest month of the year.
Well, that was by choice.
We chose the shortest month of the year. That's one thing I've never.
February was chosen. It doesn't matter to me what month they choose. The bottom line is, you can't put it into a month.
You can't.
I mean, 31 days isn't enough. You can't put it into a year. That's why we should only have history. The fact that we even have to have this conversation is racist. It's the total foundation. It's the fundamental reason why racism exists, is that we think we have to highlight the accomplishments of Black people as if this nation, this world would still be here operating in the manner that it is if we disappeared. Make Black people disappear, and you'll make white people disappear.
Let me give you this, sir.
All right, before we get into that, I want to thank my audio podcast listeners, as AD would. So when I'm reading comments, I'm going to say the person's name that wrote the comment, and then read the comment behind it, because since you can't see what we see on this side. So Ephraim had a couple of questions at the top, and we'll go ahead and go back to that. Ephraim's question, he's very inquisitive. I love my dude, E. Do you believe there is a disconnect because some black people don't see themselves in the Bible? Do you feel there's a disconnect?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And I don't think we need to go into it, but this is something I will say.
If we do, some of y'all need to go to Bible study.
Right.
That's tomorrow night on Facebook.
Yeah, but I'm like, if it ain't mine, you just need to open up your Bible and read, because reading is fundamental. Because if you're a black person and can't find yourself in the Bible, then you haven't read the Bible.
You haven't read it.
I mean, and you got to be like Stevie Wonder blind.
Wow.
Not Ray Charles, because Ray who which one of y'all said one of them can see?
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie.
Okay, you need to be Ray Charles blind then.
Because Stevie can see.
Because it's all up in there. All up in there.
Next question from Ephraim. Ephraim said, is it necessary to know your history in order to have a progressive future?
Yes. I mean, if you want to have you can still move into your future, but it won't be an informed and effective future if you don't know where you come from.
Exactly.
You go into your future with an identity.
Was it Slick Rick? What was it, Slick Rick that said? No, he sampled. He sampled Diana Ross, right? If do you know where you're going to? Do you know where you came from? Do you know where you're going to?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. It's absolute facts.
He said, Ephraim said, pastors in the building. See, we always have to stop and acknowledge pastors step in here, because when he's not here, it's just not the same.
But it's not like we need to stop and acknowledge anybody when they come in. That's a fact.
We do everybody. Black history. Cole also said, Black history period is essential for all civilizations worldwide.
Here you go, Cole. This is what I got for you. Oh, wait, hold on. My sound went out. but no, Cole, this is what I got for you on that one.
Shots fired. Romy laughed at my comment about white crayons. It wasn't very funny, but I appreciate you for laughing anyway. Mama said, hey, greetings, Pastor.
And that's her son.
I tell you. Nikki says, hey, Nikki, what's going on?
What up, Nick? Shot-town in the building.
V. Bennett, who was our guest yesterday on Knucklehead Chronicles, she said that Cecily Tyson could have been in it.
Well, Cecily Tyson could have played any strong black woman in the Bible.
Romello says corporate entities move on the opportunity to focus on our dollars during this month. Boom, yeah, right on cue. I like it. Cole says G. Carter Woodson celebrated Black History Week in the month of February. It was done to commemorate Black people along with the U.S. presidents. This is when I was asking about my thoughts. Cole Johnson also said in the mid-1907s it became Black History Month. Didn't know that. Ramon said most of the folks in the Bible are black. I could have sworn. I'm gonna tell you, I went to a movie. It's been a couple years now. The movie God's and what was it?
God's Not Dead?
No, it was the Gods of Egypt. I think it's
okay.
But I think it was like
and it was the most light skinned. It was the most light skinned cast you ever seen.
Whitewashing. I'm sitting in the theater mad the whole entire time.
That's why I didn't go.
I walked out. It was like,
and it did suck. You're right. It sucked.
You know what else? You know what else sucked? This is probably an unpopular opinion, but that movie Noah with Russell Crowe. Remember that movie?
Yeah, that sucked too. It was not biblically accurate. I don't enjoy Bible-based movies that aren't biblically accurate.
Oh, come on, leave it alone.
Just call it something else.
I think, but to me, I don't look at movies for education. I look at movies for entertainment.
Well, that wasn't entertainment either. It's like,
well, you're right.
If I want to be educated, I'm going to look at documentaries. But I learned after watching the 10 Commandments and reading the Bible, I learned to never look for my history for truth in Hollywood.
You're not gonna.
But would you say that's maturity speaking right there, Pastor? Because how many people see? And I know it's not you, but how many people see a movie and run with it as a truth?
I know. You're absolutely right, bro. Absolutely right. That's the issue. Is that I can't tell you the number of times, I've had to walk away from a debate with someone who said, I saw the movie.
Right.
Like, are you
really? Right. Right. Yeah. Facts.
That's it.
But that's part of the narrative.
Yeah,
that's part of the narrative. Look who owned these studios, and look what they pushing. So that's part of the narrative, and that's another reason why. Look,
yeah, but my thing is, I have to look at who owns these children.
There you go.
Right. If you own the children, then they should be opening up books. That's the reality.
Right.
And they know they can put this stuff in Hollywood because what is that old saying? If you want to hide it from
a black person, put it in a book.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You can't say that anymore. Now, if you want to hide it from a dummy, put it in a book, because I don't care what color your skin is. The people who want to know, read. People who want to show, watch.
Say that again. That's good. I like that one.
Yes, sir.
Cole said, as Public Enemy once said, history shouldn't be a mystery. Our story is real history, not his story. Look at that, boy, I tell you. Cole Johnson also said Ray Charles's hands can see a good-looking woman. He was feeling them wrists. We were talking about who more blinder, Ray. He was crazy. He said that reminds me of good times when Florida had an issue of having Black Jesus hung on her wall.
Yeah. Look, there are people right now that are black that will fight you.
Oh, they Black Jesus now.
For you putting a Black Jesus on a church fan.
Yeah, don't do that.
I ain't even talking about. I'm not even talking about a Caucasian community. I'm talking about in our own.
Yeah. Let's see. Romello said the frame is already in place. If you don't know your history, you automatically follow white programming. Cole said Diana Ross theme from Mahogany. Do you know the things that Doc was showing you? Where you're going? Do you know? That's when you were talking about Stick Rick. Sampling. E Sharp says he agreed with my assessment. Gaza's Egypt was a horrible movie, and it was. Richard Fay is somewhat my championship. Tampa Bay Buccaneers won last night.
You bandwagon, because last week you came on the show and said go Chiefs.
I never.
Yes, you did. You said I just moved to Missouri, so I when in Rome, do as the Romans. Pastor, he said I just moved to Missouri. When in Rome, do as the Romans.
Don't do that.
That's what you said.
Don't do that.
That's what you said.
Don't do that.
I told you receipts, sir. Receipts.
Don't do that. Pull
receipts.
Pull it. AD.
Hey, look, don't make me go back and look at all the shows from last week when you was on.
No, sir. No, sir. You started saying no, it was so inaccurate that they had 12 people like on the boat, which I never watched it. I think I watched like 5 minutes of it. And I think when he was fighting somebody and it was a whole bunch. It was like
you see what he said, right? You see what he said, right?
No, what did he say?
He said, "Yes, you did, Terry."
E.
Hey, Pastor, what does the Bible say about a word being confirmed?
Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses.
Something like that, right?
Stop. I've been a Bucks fan since Doug Williams. Don't play with me. The last championship one was in 2003 against the Raiders. Don't play with me. I'm a Bucks fan. Oh, anyway, that's not the gist of this here.
Hey, look, don't try to Jedi mind trick us. Look, don't try to Jedi mind trick us.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Romero said movies have a lot of impact on creating false context, which is true.
Yes.
Ashley says it doesn't help when actors say, "I thought it was important to tell this story." People forget that the scripts have been touched by so many people to entertain the people with short attention spans who are ready to be taken on an emotional roller coaster.
Before you drop Ashley, you drop her comment, I like even a different perspective of the same comment. It is important to tell this story, but who's telling the story?
Yeah.
And whose story are you telling?
Right. Right. I mean, it's
things that make you go.
A lot of our stories have been whitewashed, which is crazy. Romel says true. I'm not sure what you're referring to. He said 100. E Sharp says, "Yes, you did, Terry," and you're gonna not do that in this broadcast.
So you're gonna call Elder? You're gonna call Elder?
I've never said go Chiefs. I've never said it. You have to pull the clip for me to say that. Cole says, "Yes, V. I remember those fights as a child too." Romel said, I don't like Brady, but he's a bad man. I don't like Brady either, but he's my team.
Hey, I'm with you, Mello. I wanted them to lose so bad, but I realize now, for all the people, I don't mean to change the subject, but for all the people who tried to talk about the coaching in New England this morning, everybody's saying Bill who? They're not saying Belichick, they're saying Belichump.
Belichump.
Look, I ain't taking nothing away from Tom Brady. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champ.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most accomplished quarterback in the NFL history.
Okay,
but let me get my hate out.
Get your heat out.
The first half of that football game. Thank you, referees. Thank you, referees.
Yeah, but you know what? We knew that going in. This group of referees has the highest rate of flags.
They shouldn't have been
all season. Everybody kept saying before going in, they said the problem with this game is that Kansas City cannot keep up with those wideouts, and they're going to get their hands on it. They're going to get caught with their hands. I knew that going in. That there was
they shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl. The referees shouldn't decide. They shouldn't decide games. And
look at my deacon over there, remembering the word.
Let me get to the way say what Sean say.
Yes, sir.
You appreciate that on a couple of years ago. Whose story do you believe, Mark Luchon, and who told you the same story? The same story.
Boy, that's fire right there. He preaching now. You gonna make me bring that back, bro?
Hey, look, go ahead. Sometimes you gotta remember.
Yeah,
there's a monument of faith, sir.
Look, the title of that sermon was "Get Your Story Straight."
Come on now.
Story straight. Don't get him started. That sounds like a good one right there. Cole said, Wayne, Terry's doing like the Romans did and feed the losers to the lions. I sure am. I ordered my championship.
Oh, so you just admitted it?
I ordered my championship hat last night.
At 41-49 of this show, you just admitted that's what you're doing. Because you jumped ship.
I don't jump ship. What are you talking about, man?
I'm gonna find it. And then I'm gonna go back to minute 39 where you said bring receipts, and it's gonna say bring the receipts, and then I'm gonna show you saying go Kansas City.
Never said that. Never.
Richard, you got amnesia, bro.
Richard said I told everyone Buccaneers would win Mahomes who. Yeah, you can't say that in this region, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Because they get feisty over their Chiefs. Chief Kingdom.
Defense won.
That's why, okay, Terry, I ain't gonna put you out like that. I want you to sell cars. I ain't gonna put you out like that. I'll keep it to myself when I find it.
We said we had the Last Supper on our wall. I would just look at it and was like, Romulo says, actually, is that you in that thumbnail? You are extremely talented. Is that what you wanted to say, Romulo? Sean, I read comments. Sean comment. He said, how do you feel about what's been stolen from our community? Songs, inventions, etc.
Look, that is a whole show in itself.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but the thing is, the only reason you consider it stolen is because America has a history of concealing the accomplishment of Black people.
Yeah.
The reality is nothing should be, it should be flattering that people are doing what you do or using your sword. That's the problem that we have today. We put something out there and get mad when someone takes it.
Yeah.
Who's the king of rock and roll?
Chuck Berry.
Little Richard.
I'm glad y'all didn't say Elvis.
Because he's not the king of rock and roll. Like, well, I do like that. He's
according to who, though?
According to Little Richard, he is. I was being funny.
Right.
I invented rock and roll.
Chuck Berry.
But
this mess.
Yeah. And then look at the narratives. Chuck Berry, what he went to jail for rape? Was it rape because of underage white girl he was sleeping with?
That was a white girl.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
He was one of those. I'm finna mess with the system a little bit.
Yeah.
So no, but I'm just saying, like inventions. The thing that I have with inventions is several different. There's so many layers. Like, for instance, do you think that a slave master who beats his slaves and noted to beat his slaves, Eli Whitney, You think he's going to create something that's going to allow his slaves to work easier when he was getting all profit anyway?
Yeah.
No, he had a slave that created those things. And the problem that I have with it, don't give him credit. Okay, I got it. Don't give him a patent. I got it. But the problem is this. When we talk about reparations, if we were to talk about reparations, I feel that every slave owner who has a patent that was created by a slave and they're still eating from that patent, that money needs to be redirected to the communities of people where it came from. Like whoever created the cotton gin, whoever created the use. I mean, you look at all the 108 inventions of George Washington Carver, every patent that we didn't get, the stoplight. I mean, the world doesn't run without black ingenuity on no level. You want to talk about space? You can't. America couldn't get to space without black women.
Yeah.
You want to talk about medical breakthroughs?
We can have, there's two ways to have this conversation, because I completely agree with you, Dwayne. There is a academic narrative, but there's an emotional narrative, but there's also a psychological narrative, right? We must recognize that this is strictly psychological. Mm-hmm. The concealment of black accomplishments is controlled by capitalism.
Facts.
Right? Yeah. They didn't want to put money in the black people's pocket. And from a psychological standpoint, they did not want to send a message that black people have intelligence. Right? So when you talk about we couldn't even get to the moon, most people don't even know the accomplishments of those black women until the movie came out.
Right.
Right. So again, if the people that want to know, or they want to show, they watch. That's the reality. Right. If you read, and you can't even find that in Black history books.
Facts.
You have to read science books to know.
Yep.
You understand? Because it's not even considered Black history. It's just history.
It's history. Yeah.
No one ever talks about the computations of getting to space. They only talk about the man who landed on the moon. Yeah. We never talk about how we get there. We only talk about the folks that we put there.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the problem. We never talk about how something was designed or who designed it. We only talk about who's selling it.
Yeah.
Right. That's and I'm saying that's the reason why we get lost in the shuffle. So it's a psychological thing. It's fake news. Donald Trump coined the term, but fake news has been out here forever.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time.
Pastor McCoy, you're trying to make the preacher come up out of me, ain't you? Because as you're saying this, it's just reflective, and I need to say this. It just makes me reflect on our relationship with God. We focus on the gift far too often and not the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same way that as Christians or as believers, when we focus on the gift and not the giver or the creator, what happens is we lose touch with who we were created to be. We lose touch with our source. We lose touch with our provision. We lose touch with our protection. We lose touch with what defines us. In the same way, when the gift is the focus and not the creator, Black America becomes a footnote in a book that nobody picks up.
Right.
Because Dr. Charles Drew, you could have discovered the process to separate the blood platelets from the liquid, and you essentially have saved millions of Americans and hundreds of millions of people around the world, but you died because of your skin color, because they wasn't able to do your procedure on you.
Yeah.
This is what happened when the giver is no longer part of the focus. The Bible tells us to seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, his way of doing things, and everything else will be added to you. And yet we forget the giver oh so often. And this world doesn't do anything any different, because you can rattle off the air conditioner, the helicopter, shortwave radio, refrigerators, and a whole lot of other things. And a black person is not something that you would associate it with.
Right.
But the reality of it is, if like I had a white third grade teacher who I love dearly because she forced us to see more than what we just studied in the classroom. She at the end of the month, she said on February 26, 1987, remember this day like it was yesterday. She said, "Look, Dwayne, this is what your assignment's going to be. I want you to live life in America without the use of black people." And she said, "I want you to come up with a list, because I needed extra credit because I missed a test because I got sick in the classroom and I couldn't make it up because I got sick." So she gave me extra credit assignment. And this assignment, I had to go back and create every invention that I can find in my house. And she said, "Now you got to live life without black people being present in this country."
Right.
And the crazy thing about it was, the only thing that I could come up with was a table. That was the only thing that black people had no hand in. And that this was as a third grader.
Yeah.
A table.
All right. Let me get into these comments right here quick before we shut it down. E said, credit is due. Credit is due. Compensation is due. We owe the world our gifts and talents, but most was stolen. So when we're talking about inventions, we're talking about, what they call them, culture vultures. That's those folks.
See, they're not new.
Cole Johnson said, remember Little Richard wrote songs that got little traction. When Pat Boone redid the song, it went to number one. White America stealing from black cultures is simply a way of life.
Hey, Little Richard didn't even want to give credit to Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
What did your boy say from the 5 Heartbeats? It's like a double cross.
Yeah.
The crossover. Did we cross back over?
They came on this weekend. I'm loving it. They don't cross over to us. Sean Romello said, affirmative action is an attempt to right the wrong. Sean said it does matter to them that it was easier, meant they could do more in less time as slave owners had to do.
Absolutely. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right, sir.
Yeah. Cole said, even today, something is considered ratchet, bootleg, or not meant to be touched if black people use it. But if it's considered the trend, then white people do it. That's what I'm talking about. Culture vaults. They take all of our stuff, and if we, it's crazy.
You mean like that lip challenge that Jenna girl did?
Yeah,
when they were sticking their lips in bottles and
trying to get our lip,
and then saying we got.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Cole Johnson said, when we lose touch with our roots, it's not I don't know that word.
Misnomer.
That we as black people are the most innovative group of people on the planet and the most spiritually in tune individuals at the same time. Romelo said, I didn't have a black teacher until I was a senior in college.
Where'd you grow up?
Where you go to school? Oh, man, I don't know where you went to school.
That was crazy. Hachino said, created tables thousands of years ago. Look at those walls. V said, we get pacified instead of being compensated. Yeah. Also,
be happy, be appreciative.
Yeah.
Come on, you
take these things.
You ain't no slave no more. Come on, Pastor Brian McCoy. You got a job and you're a pastor. Your wife is in real estate. You got a nice house. Your kids ain't worried about nothing. Why you complaining?
Get out of my pocket.
That's what you said. Also responsible for the what's that word? Apartheid rate too. We are speaking on now. Not sure what that is. Romelo said, "I went to Catholic school." LOL.
Oh, I did too, Mello. And you're right. In Catholic school, there was no black teacher. I did not have a black teacher.
Oh man,
in Catholic school, I didn't have a black. There was not a black employee at my Catholic school. St.
Wait
Teresa.
a minute. How many black people was in Kankakee?
Many, plenty. Kankakee is very diverse.
Yeah,
always was. What's funny?
But the school wasn't a microcosm of the community.
Not Catholic school.
Yeah,
public school, yes, but not Catholic school. Catholic school, I was the only black boy in my class.
Oh man,
I don't know. Your mom dressed up and came in there joking like she was militant. Then okay.
No, not in Catholic school. She did that when we got to public school.
Public school. You got
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I want to thank everybody for coming through and hanging with us today. And I know this is the shortened version. Normally we go a little longer, but the way my work schedule is set up, I can't stay on for an hour now, so I gotta set it all down. But we don't thank you. If you and Pastor, I don't know if you missed the Black History moment or person today. Did you catch that?
No.
Gladys West. Familiar?
Who?
Gladys West.
No, I'm not familiar.
Gladys West is one of the mathematicians that created or helped create GPS. So
okay.
if you can tag, you can tag your photos on Instagram because of this lady, or get directions on your phone.
Because we know Terry don't know how to use no atlas.
I don't.
Hey Terry, you tell the people you drive a Ford.
Yeah, that what?
You tell the people you drive a Ford.
Yeah, I can drive a Ford.
I'm just messing with you about your Kansas City. How you turn your back on your Chiefs.
Right. You're trying to swipe the street. Oh boy. All right.
Right.
We're gonna get out of here. We love you guys. Remember, like we always say around here, God loves you. Well, we love you, but God loves you more, man. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday. We'll see you guys. I will see you guys on Thursday. They'll be back tomorrow doing their thing. Y'all be good.
I didn't want to catch that. Good morning.